As we are going to kick off here, let's get this on the go, guys. Let's start this off. In the top right-hand corner of the map, our red Zerg player to begin this series is going to be Lambo. He takes on the blue Terran. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have Team Liquid Secure. Up slowly. Hello, hello. So we get into ley lines here for game number 1 of this best of 3. Get this set up and figure out what we're going to be doing in SCV. Get a building up front. Just going to be starting off with that. Barracks going down, refinery coming up. We get that underway for a few moments here. And look to see just where we're going to be going. See what the plan is going to be. See what the players would like to try and give us as we get this underway. So yeah, get that started off. And see what exactly we can do for ourselves. As EV pulls back toward the center then for a few moments, just going to be moving across there. And you have it heading into the middle. Lambo has got the overlord coming across the map. Yeah, genuinely interested as to how Lambo does. I think he was a difficult matchup for him. I think Lambo has, when he has struggled, has oftentimes been in the TvZ matchup, which is, especially against the Korean Terrans, very difficult to get into a good position in. Guess we'll see how he does here. 80 months from slowly with the 6 months in advance sub. Appreciate it slowly. Guys, I'm enjoying the stream today already and just enjoy the content day after day in the StarCraft 2. Then you can obviously support the channel by subscribing and following and liking and all the usual stuff, guys. We are trying hard to stream a lot, and we are trying hard to hopefully push the sub number back up so we can run more tournaments. We're having a constant fight. I really felt like 700 subs was... It's kind of wild because I felt like 700 subs was kind of where we were balanced out at, but man, we are. Every time we get to 700, we bounce right back in the other direction again. So, yeah. You got a sub, I really appreciate it. I want to try and get those numbers up so we can more comfortably commit to future tournaments. As our Reaper is just going to move around, nothing too crazy there just yet. It's a Rotron from Lambo, so we'll see how he tries to utilize that, given a little bit of additional time. Let that develop for now. Let's see where we go. So yeah, Reaper hangs up to the top. A couple of evolution chambers coming around. Drones and a roach added on as well. A couple of clear teamers coming up. The Hellions and the Banshee coming in. Orbital cloaking for the Banshees setting up as well. Those two Marines already getting to work on this Overlord. Just going to go straight in over there to put that into play. Marines and Hellions continue to pop around. As the Hellions join up, the Banshee just starts to move out. A couple of barracks make their way out onto the map as well. So again, away they go. The Banshee moving around and trying to see what's going on. And Banshee back in the center. Just gonna be seeing a couple of Banshees moving around. 1-1 upgrade, stim pack coming through. The Banshee's just gonna come back around Bane Nest Infestation Pit. Again, those Banshees continue to gather around. 1-1 upgrades. Stim pack coming through. Again, missiles, carapace, link speed, and roach speed will continue to come up. Just gonna be having ourselves the Bane Nest and the Infestation Pit continue to come around as a couple of drones get shot at. Well, a little bit of Banshee harassment, nothing too major. Lambo being left to his own devices for the most part. You know, getting some creep on the map, although that's one thing the Banshees are going to try and have something to say about as they come through into 9-1 creep tumor. To begin with here, I mean, Hero playing very standard as well. Armory coming up to get to his 2-2. Begins to move 2 Medivacs onto the map to see if they can maybe achieve some damage in the coming moments. And yeah, they're going to head straight up to the top, so away they go. A couple Banshees down the bottom right-hand side. Going to make their way across as well, as the Marines are going to go in. The Overlord will go down. Corrosive Bar is going to be there. The Banshees on the bottom getting turned around as well, and Lambo just going to go straight into the hive as well. It's already halfway done. He's going to get away with it because he's under no pressure. Melee upgrades, carapace upgrades. I mean, if Q went to 8 racks, this might be one of those scenarios where Lambo gets punished for doing a bit too much, right? Because he kind of went roaches, he's kind of moving into Banes, he's kind of going into hive. This is the kind of time he might die, but we have a 4th base coming up, so Q is not going to be a complete kind of push and aggression. It's going to be a little bit different to that, so with that in mind, keeps us in a pretty decent spot. There's a couple of Banshees turned back around the other direction. The Queen's still gathering up here. Q2 upgrades, combat shield coming through, +1 vehicle weapons coming up as well. We had 2 more barracks into play as the Marines just step up. A couple creep tumors go down immediately. The Marines load into the Medivacs. They're going to pull back out through the bottom side. The Lings, Ravagers, and Banelings running back up together as well. A couple Banshees back to the top. Vipers continue to come on through. Banes, Lings, and the Ultra Cavern continues to come about. +1 melee, +2 carapace. Continues to build as the Banshees like to try and make their way around that right side as well. See what they can do. Moving another round of Banes just off to the side. The Viper's going to start consuming up on the hatchery, so we'll get that hatch growing with, well, being eaten up. Give the Vipers some energy, get them going. Marine tank medevac out into the center. Tanks will begin to siege, and we do get rid of some of that creep spread already as you're on the big push. The Lambo's maxed out. Lambo has a slight upgrade lead for a couple of seconds until 2-2 finishes because he has a second carapace. He's going to go. The Vipers need to start hitting Blinding Clouds ASAP here because the sooner you hit the Blinding Clouds, the less Banes you're going to lose on the way in. We are going to get rid of the Marines on the top side. Do we have enough to get rid of the Marines on the bottom side? We do have Banes left over. We have tanks going down. We have Lambo absolutely crushing this initial attack of Kua. Nothing going on elsewhere. So it's not like Kua has like a drop or so hitting a mineral line as you so often might see as a Terran who loses a fight. It's like, well, haha, I'm killing a base elsewhere. Nothing at all. It was this push and that was about it. A little bit of bio steps up. The creep team is trying to go down there. Those Queens decide to pull away. The couple Vipers still overhead. Bane's trying to move up. The Vipers are going to come through again. I think it's going to be another round of Blinding Clouds, or at least attempts to Blinding Cloud, as This fight's going to go a bit worse for Lambo because he doesn't get the Blinding Clouds to go as deep, and it's a lot more Roach Ravager than the Banelings. Link starting up, and Ultra being added on too. I do love the first couple of Liberators coming out from Cure. They're such a good stepping stone to kind of help you kind of stay alive against the first few Ultras and to trade well, while you then tech higher up into Ghost, which is more of a necessity. You turn those Banes around, I actually think they were about to crash into the Marines. I think if he just left them going, they would have at least, even if they got shot to death, they would have splashed the Marines. They were that close. As Lambo's bottom right base in some trouble. The Queen stepped forward, everything else is kind of weighing. We need the Banelings really. There's that one Ultra that's going to be popping shortly. We could desperately do with that coming into play as well. As this hatchery here does go down, so the hatchery falls, Ultra pops out. It's going to come moving across, and hatchery goes down. There's the rest of the Ultras though, so like I say, this is going to be Liberators that are only 2 in number so far, not super strong. The Banes once again getting a decent chance of kind of moving forward. I think the Libs got rid of quite a few of the Banes, unfortunately, as the Corrosive Files do get rid of 1 out of 2 Liberators. I mean, these Ultras, thinking about whether they want to try and brute force the moment, but it's difficult. You're attacking off a creep into that force. Just doesn't feel great. Going to start trying to add on an Infestor amongst everything else as Lambo tries to scramble together his production. If you could get an Infestor out of Fungal Growth to let the Ultras chomp a little bit, could be huge. It's a little bit of a, a Hail Mary almost, because I don't think you've really got the money to just throw an Infestor into play right now, but I think he's realizing that he's kind of losing the fight, so he needs something that kind of saves him, and that, single Fungal Growth spellcast may just be it. File pulls back over, the Ling's just going to get rid of some SCVs. Both those Ultras just going to be going down pretty much immediately, so they will drop. Ultras will fall, the Zerglings get chased away. SCVs drop back out of the command center. I'm going to put that back into place. Lambo sits to 150 supply here at the 181. Plus 2 vehicle weapons coming through. Marauder medevac tank on the way. Getting up to that northern side, again a few units splitting apart, the rest of the buy on the right side, getting rid of another base. Becomes more and more of a challenge as the few Banes continue to try and slide on in. The Ling Bane connecting. We actually get rid of one of the medevacs already. So one medevac goes down, the army from Lambo to the top, hanging around as well. What tanks firing about, the drones are going to come on over. Hatcheries will come up. Ultras, Burrow, Ravager still building, got the Lings and Banes setting about as the Planetary Fortress goes down on the left side. It's a nice little counter to get rid of a 5th, but we've got bases to replace that with. Feels like a very meaningless little bit of damage there, as that Abduct is awkward because it doesn't actually really get rid of the siege tank. We lose the Viper, we will chase in, and do we have enough of Cure's units dislodged to do something here? Not really. GG gets called. Cure is going to take the first game. Felt like the first cleanup from Lambo was pretty good. Just couldn't have tank corner. We are going to be seeing down a game in the bottom left. Our red Zerg player is Lambo. Taking on in the bottom right, our blue Terran from Team Liquid. We've got Cure. Game number 2 to settle down and into this. A lot of Lambo already moving out through the bottom side of the map's just going to be coming straight across with that to begin with in these early moments. Screaming Waffles, thank you so much for the 19-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for using your Prime on the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Overall coming about, Reaper is going to start moving onto the map as well. And we just take a second with this Reaper coming across. We'll finally have some action early in this TvZ. And the Reaper hops up. A couple drones going to be mining away. A little grenade goes down. The drone can pop backwards. A few more shots coming through. For the moment. So far, so good. Again, the 3 drones, the hatchery, all coming online. Get that settled here. The next few moments. See what can be done. We're just gonna chase the Reaper. Maybe taking some shots. This Reaper nearly goes down even, so has to be a little bit careful, a little bit cautious. Don't want to let that get too far out in front of you. As the starport continues to build, command center's coming up. Bring that into play. Well, the Rotoron is on the way again from Lambo, so playing that Rotoron initially. Going to use that as his kind of baseline and foundation to build upon here. That seems to be the case, so going to get set up for that. Couple of roaches coming about. The Hellions going to start moving onto the map as well, so away we go. Just going to be seeing the first bit of additional pressure lining up alongside that Reaper early that got taken down. Full wall off here is going to make it difficult to poke through those. So the one thing that I was going to say is going to be difficult if Lambo full walls is he's not going to have defense up here to protect his creep spread. So if he actually wants to push creep out through the top side of the map, he'd actually be kind of limited himself. So the cancel and reposition on that Evo chamber makes a lot more sense. Roach in the wall off, and now you can put roaches out here as well to be able to push those Hellions away, push that creep spread down, and to then have creep moving onto the map, you know, away from just the top siders. A couple of gold mineral mining drones, or a gold mineral mining drone. I wonder if he wants to take this base as his 4th on this side. I mean, you see players like Rogue do that a lot, where they take the gold base on the wrong side a lot of the time, and that's kind of the approach that they like to head into. What I don't like about that is you actually see Q is going to take the bottom of the gold in the way I'm describing. I feel like it should be further up though. I feel like it should be here. Because right now I feel like this mineral patch is an absolute eternity away. This is the longest, not long distance mining work we've ever seen. Yeah, I guess it's not as obvious or not as set in stone. As the Queens do get rid of the Viking, and Hellions still gather up. 1-1 missile upgrades building on the evolution chambers. Add the roach speed on as well. And there goes the hatchery from Lambo. Is it always the case that that mineral line is just... I mean, this is in line with... what? It's in line with... that patch? I guess this patch is always just a little bit away, actually. Jeez. I never even really noticed that. I don't know if it's just because it's on this side. It looks a bit weird. Crazy. Anyways, more important things than analyzing the exact patch positions and stuff. We get the roaches coming through, and they produce down the bottom 1-1 missile upgrades, and the roach speed will be producing through as well, so we get the roach upgrades happily into play. And obviously committing to these roach upgrades, we'll had it last game as well. We went 1-1 missiles, and then we went into melee upgrades after, so we'll see if something comes from there. Let me just take a moment, guys, to quickly check the bracket. Apparently Beyond 2-0 over Showtime, and Solo 2-0 over Hearthstone as well. Hero 2-0 over Nice. Some round of 8 competitors setting up to go. So just a little update for you guys, let you know where we are at. As a couple of creep teamers will continue to fall. The roaches step up, the Hellions get turned around, moved away. And the one upgrade still coming through. The combat shield is going to be coming in. The Roach Ravager is going to begin to push. You got a couple siege tanks across the back right there as well. As we do see the Roaches and Ravagers are going to commit. So in we go. SCVs, Hellbat's taking a lot of damage. We do have the tanks continue to fire back. The Roach Ravager continues to push on forward. The Marine's going down. We're going to get rid of another tank here. Oh no, he misses the Biles. That siege tank stays alive. Your supply is not great, but Lambo could really do with, honestly, not getting rid of that tank was kind of brutal. Because he could have very easily been on top of, like, he's basically like one tank behind where he should be. So he could have avoided so many hits that were just unnecessary. Those files weren't really needed either. As a drop across the map is going to get cleaned up. But Kira's still not great on supply. It's just Lambo is playing Roaches. Those Roaches are immobile, so the drop play has continued potential. That is just something that we have to continue to consider here. Did he bile himself? No, he biled where the tank had just died, but I don't think any units were actually in position to get hit by it, unless I am mistaken. I mean, what's nice is that the gold base of the Terran gets lifted off, and obviously that was the third, and the fourth is still morphing into an orbital here, so that's barely mining too, so that's a benefit. Lambo's kind of controlling at home. He needs to keep the pressure up because his own economy, not exactly brilliant. His own tech, absolutely terrible. It's just Roaches, so he kind of needs to keep the pressure up. There's not really a choice for Lambo. He's only really got one thing to kind of partake in. Orbital lifts off. The Roach Ravager gathers up. The medevacs are going to load, and they are going to make their way out through the top side of the map. So I'm going to head on over as a couple of the drones will start to mine open the top. I like this because it gives you exactly this access to move your army through to deal with, you know, plays like this. So I like it from Q too, though, because obviously from Q's point of view right now, he's buying himself a ton of time where this Roach Ravager is not attacking him. He needs to try and figure out, you know, mining a third base again. I don't know if Lambo has sent enough Roach Ravager back here against 3 medevacs of Marines. Let's see. Obviously, it is in a good position. The tanks are quite far back, so they actually don't stop these Roaches from hitting the depots. The depots will go down, and Q is going to be heavily supply blocked, losing 4 depots. And also, you can then get a concave set up here as well. The tank's going to have to step further forward, but even this tank stepping up, you can still hit a lot of this mineral line. So Q continues to just take losses as Lambo is really finding good positions and good ways in which to deny Q continued kind of comfort in this game. Q takes a chance to land the third base, but there's a couple of Roaches there, so any SCVs that were there are going to get knocked down. The problem is going to be exactly this, is that Terran army can still be quite strong, and as long as you get some tank shots off, those Roaches get weakened up, and if the Roaches are weak, they die very quickly to Marine fire soon after. The drop comes back in, looking to kind of act as a surround, but then Lambo is going to surround the surround as he comes in from the other side. I mean, again, you can evacuate here if you need to as Q. We do target down the Ravagers. So he will hit 2-2 upgrades now. Might be a moment for Lambo to actually stop and just give a second for his own 2-2 to finish before he continues trying to press the issue. Again, the biggest issue for Q is he's not mining off a third base. I actually think all of this would have been fine if his continued defense was on top of the third and he kept on mining the third. But because he's not being able to mine off the third base, his economy really is struggling. And that puts you in a very challenging position. And I think that position is going to be the roughest. And yeah, you can see all these mules dropping down. He's not wanted to drop them on the main or natural, which is already heavily mined. It gives you a massive surge of income because you've not had that income over the past few moments. So now that you get a base back up, you can benefit from all of those mules. This base is currently still burning. That's Lambo. Melee upgrade, Bane speed, Ling speed, Hive as well. Deciding it's time to try and maybe tech up a little bit. It's scary because, again, attacking in for him involves kind of attacking into tanks, and attacking into tanks isn't pretty. Corrosive Biles now start to come through. I actually think he should have biled the orbital. I don't know if we could have repaired it enough to save it from those biles. I mean, it's not even really super great right now. But this is also just fine. Stopping the third from mining is achieving the exact same thing we were just talking about, which is just it slows Q down so heavily. There's a couple corrosive files drop in. The Roach is going to start coming from the other side again. Lambo's teching up, so I don't know if he needs to attack into this. And again, every time you're attacking into any amount of tanks here with the Roach army, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. Like, Lambo's losing a ton of supply. Corrosive files not quite hitting as well as they maybe should be. Oh, he's going to get chased away. He's going to lose a lot. Loses the entire Roach Ravager force. And like I say, an attack that was just unnecessary to make. He could have sat down here and forced the command center to lift again, right? And now you get into an awkward position where I mean, do you want to start building Lings? Now you've got to deal with this army, with your same army. In fact, it's a worse army because you don't have Ravagers. It's going to spend the last bit of gas on 3 more Ravagers. I can't believe he's only been able... I can't believe he didn't even get rid of that siege tank. He actually missed the extra biles on it. Some additional biles or some better biles would have done a lot for him in this. So Lambo is playing this game on West, which is obviously a little bit of a ping difference as well. Lambo, one of the players that's always been quite vocal about him not playing very well on West. So that's noteworthy too, as a few Lings seep forward. Lings just trying to buffer for the Roach Ravager, give them a shot. Surely we can get some corrosive biles between these 2 tanks. Is that a double kill? No, it's only a single kill. Like I say, I feel like the bile positioning could just be better. If the biles hit between the tanks right there, then I really think that, well, obviously it's not going to change it right now, but it's the biles throughout the game which maybe could have been better. And if the biles throughout the entire game are better, I think Hero has way less pushing power right now. As the hatchery goes down, it's going to be seeing the Marines continue through. The Roach Ravager going to sit there. The fact Hugh is on 4 orbitals actually doesn't really matter in this game because he didn't have the base to send the mules onto initially. So he actually didn't have a lot of mining. And when he did drop the mules, Lambo then denied them about halfway through. So he actually was on pretty terrible economy. I know usually we kind of go to mules, but he wasn't really able to use the mules for a long time. We don't have Game Hard on, so I can't actually check the economy as Lambo is still looking to try and make this defense. But he just didn't need to attack. Like, he did not need to attack into that defensive position when he's putting money into teching up. And especially in such a committed way. Like, he stuck around way too long when it started to go wrong for him. Right now, he's going to get a good surround. He's going to get rid of a lot of the Marines, and he might be able to then hence get rid of the tanks. And he will do so. Lambo is going to still win the game, but my goodness, they got a little scary and a little close in the end. Give up everything, because that puts you in immediate danger to the counterattack. The thing is, Lambo could have traded supply by moving forward, dropping biles on the tank, and stepping away. He would have lost a handful of roaches, but he gets rid of a tank. He makes some progress, but he never ends up in trouble. The problem is he committed to the fight so long all his roaches went down, then the Marines can chase down every Ravager, and that's when it's a complete and utter disaster for you. That's when it just goes wrong and, you know, worse and worse, step by step. Lambo bottom left here as we go into game 3 on Frostline. Kira at the top right, our Blue Terran. As we get into the 3rd map of this series. Not gonna straight up proxy it up from QS, just gonna get that set over to the sides. Three barracks is going to come through, hatching the gas coming up as well. And we will see if Lambo can figure this out and get this sorted. Has got Marines starting up already. It's rough for Lambo because this Overlord is not even taking the direct route to the natural. He's not even thinking about checking for CC, so he's going to be in the dark. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because this Overlord's going to see it now. So now it comes down to the reaction. The problem is Lambo as well doesn't necessarily know about the worker count or the commitment. He doesn't know it's a 3-rack, so well, Spinecrawl is a good choice. Can you keep that spine alive? Drones may have to pull a few Lings on the way. Going to pull some drones already. Wants to cancel the bunker, I believe. Don't think you should go chasing Marines. I think chasing Marines against 3-racks is always bad because there's so much production that's going to come up against you. You lose 4 drones. It does give you time to delay and deny the SCV on this bunker and to maybe then get the bunker as the feelings come through. This bunker will in fact go down, so that helps, yes. Spinecrawl will be up in a few moments. Next bunker actually denied by the creep spread just pressing forward. Queen going to pop out in a moment. Kind of want to fight with everything here. Spinecrawler, Queen, and the Lings. Spinecrawler target fires the Marines for a second as well, trying to hit those instead of the SCVs. The Spinecrawler sets up. We will have the Marines going to go and find that. Oh, that's brutal. That Overlord was out of position, didn't get to the high ground. That's such a bad mistake because the supply block is hefty and very difficult to do much about. We're adding on 2 more Spinecrawlers. The thing is, he did see with the Overlord the SCV pull, so right now just building spines is probably his best call, because anything else costs him, you know, he needs an overlord. He finally did build that overlord, but 3 spines is going to give you a shot at this. You have to pull everything in to try and buy time. I mean, even the second spine finishing would be nice. Yeah, the Ling's just got to go for it. Transfusion buys you a few more moments. Actually pulls the drones back. I think the drones should go. I think the drones should commit. I think Lambo is just a little bit indecisive. Now the drones are going to start moving forward. Another spine will finish. Marines move into the main base, though, which is obviously going to be a problem as well. Lambo doesn't have anything in the main base, but the spawning pool is there. Overlord goes down. 2 spines are nice, but having to rebuild your spawning pool is obviously a bit ridiculous. What we could maybe do... I love this creep tumor. This creep tumor is very smart. High ground vision. Right? This provides the high ground vision that you need to potentially hit these Marines as they come down the ramp. This actually becomes very awkward, actually, for Cure, because how do you ever get those Marines out? Lambo is still mining off of more workers, so... There's a mule, though. Now, that supply block really sucked. And I really feel like if he just pulls the drones and went with the drones... I mean, because he fought with the drones a little bit toward the end anyway. He kind of needs an extra spine up at the top side as well, so he can stop these new Marines from hitting his hatchery, so he's going to have to relocate a spine that gives you the chance to move in as Cure. That's going to be pretty much the go moment, or is it? No, not yet. And try and hit the spine crawler now. The Queen, where we at? Very narrowly got transfused energy, so we will get a transfusion on this spine. It's a big deal. Give it a little bit more time, but it's a lot of Marines against just one spine crawler in reach. Lambo says GG, the 3 racks is good enough, and Cure gets it done. I felt like Lambo was actually very close to getting the